Kia ora, this is Arun Jacob, your friendly and frank licensed New Zealand immigration advisor as well as education advisor, coming live again from the beautiful city of Hamilton in New Zealand. I'm coming live on my YouTube channel. I'm also coming live on the Facebook Global AJV Global YouTube channel, and I'm coming live from our Facebook group on your Facebook, which is called NZ Options. And I'm also coming live on Instagram. So it's quite a few balls up in the air for me to juggle at the moment. But hello, big hello to everybody again. And I'm as usual on a Tuesday evening, 6:30 p.m. New Zealand time. I'm ready with my glass of water, with my license, which I show to everybody before the start of the session. To prove my credentials to all of you that I am indeed a licensed immigration advisor from New Zealand, and I studied towards it and worked towards it to be able to sit here week after week and to be able to share my information and knowledge about migrating to New Zealand, either directly or through other means such as education or business or investment and so on and so forth. So that's the forte of yours truly, as well as my wonderful team of AJV staff members. We are about 35 people, all put together. About five of us work here in New Zealand, and 30 of our team are based out of India, which is our largest market at the moment. We are working with clients from other countries as well, from various other countries actually. And but the bulk of our clients are still coming from India, and we are grateful to each and every client, irrespective of which part of the world you're from. We are here sitting in New Zealand to serve you, to provide you with the most authentic and genuine information that we can provide you, and follow it up with good services, professional services as well. So, ready as always, with my big coffee mug, my glass of water, my license, and yeah, all my little other paraphernalia, which I use on my live sessions. Talking about big, yesterday was a big day for us in the history of AJV. We set up our first office here in Hamilton, and it was amazing to have this office set up, because now that we are growing in size and the number of clients we are working with are coming thick and fast into New Zealand, we realize the need to have these hubs around New Zealand, where AJV students and clients can walk in and discuss their future options, their job prospects, their what are the visas they can get into if they're married, what kind of visa issues pertain to their families, so on and so forth. So it was a massive day for us. So our first office is operational in Hamilton, which is of course our home city. This is where we are headquartered. We are very proudly Hamilton based and Waikato based, which is our region. So yeah, that's the reason the first AJV office went up in Hamilton. The other proud thing about this office is the fact that this entire office was interior decorated by one of our AJV students called Nita David, who is studying interior decoration here in Hamilton with an institution called Wintech. So when we got this office, we looked through our database of all our students to see if anybody is into interior decoration, and we found Nita, and we called her and offered her a project, a live project, to set up our office, and she did an amazingly beautiful job. So please go to our Facebook group called NZ Options and look for the album which I just posted, I think about an hour back, and it's got all the pictures. And we invited our local member of parliament, Mr. Jamie Strange, who is the local member of parliament from the Labour Party, which is now in power in New Zealand. So Jamie was so kind to come in the morning and do an inauguration, and he also said a beautiful prayer for us to encourage us to do better for New Zealand, for our clients, for our staff members, and for our shareholders. So it was really very motivating to be there when Jamie made that beautiful prayer, cut the ribbon, we popped a bottle of champagne, and then we all went out for lunch with Jamie, and we had a nice long discussion about the international education and migration industry in New Zealand and how it can be improved upon. And he made some good notes, and he said he will talk to his colleagues in Parliament who are the Minister of Education and the Minister of Education. In fact, Jamie called me back today afternoon. And he told me that he already had a discussion with the Minister of Immigration and put forward some of the points that I had mentioned during our discussion. So yeah, we based in New Zealand, that's our advantages. We can reach out to these decision makers and put forth our views on the way this particular industry can be shaped, because it does unfortunately have a lot of unscrupulous people, and because of which the industry as a whole sometimes ends up getting a bad name. But hey, look, as long as there are people with the right heart and the right mind, I think things will still continue to grow, and New Zealand will become stronger because we'll keep attracting some of the best talent in the world, and we will ensure that they're coming into New Zealand with the right ways and the right means. So, all you beautiful people out there who are desirous of starting a new life in a new place, in one of the most beautiful places on earth, who do you call? Hey, JV. That probably sounds a bit like a takeoff from the Ghostbusters movie, where you go, who do you call? And they all go Ghostbusters. But you want to live in New Zealand, who do you call? AJV. So that's the way it's going to be, guys. All right. So we were proudly New Zealand owned and operated. I'm a proud New Zealander, although my origin is from India. I sit here today as a very proud Kiwi, and I'm trying my best with the help of my wonderful teammates and members to be able to also, promote the best facets about New Zealand to the best talent around the world. So that's the way it is going. Right. That was a pretty long opening session. So let's get started. Normally, people start asking me questions. Today, I think I changed the format just a little bit because normally I go also live on our Facebook page as well. But today I'm actually going live only from the Facebook group, and we thought we will share it to my Facebook ID as well as to the Facebook page. So certain questions need to come in before I can start answering. I do not see any questions yet. So my colleague Jyoti, who keeps monitoring all the channels, will hopefully start pasting some questions here into the group. Jyoti, if you're listening, to this, please pick up the questions from the other places and start pasting them here. Or if you want me to go live also from the page, if that makes it more easy, please advise me and I can go live from the page as well. In the meantime, because I can't see any questions right now on the Facebook group, there was something else I think I would like to narrate about yesterday, is that after we had the inauguration with the member of parliament in the evening, we called all our people, all our AJV students who are present in Hamilton and also other towns around Hamilton. And of course, we extended an invitation to all AJV students all across New Zealand. But once in Hamilton, obviously, we're able to make it. So there were almost about 30 odd people who turned up yesterday for our evening session. We had a morning session with the member of parliament who came and inaugurated the office, and then in the evening we called all our AJV clients, and it's a phenomenal gathering. And what I did is I also invited some of my local Maori friends in Hamilton because as migrants and as international students who come to New Zealand, it is important that we also understand the Maori aspect of New Zealand, because they are the original people of New Zealand, and they call the Tangata Whenua. And so I thought it will be a great idea for our students and clients to interact with some of my local Maori friends in Hamilton. So I called them, and we had that beautiful bonding between the AJV students as well as my Maori friends. And one of them again said a beautiful prayer in Maori to start the evening session. And then we, of course, had a lovely chat with all our students. And Nita, who was our interior decorator and one of our students, so she popped another bottle of champagne. And my wonderful colleague and senior manager, Mary Joseph, who is also a licensed immigration advisor, and who heads our kind of New Zealand team. She popped a bottle of champagne, and we all had a little bit of champagne, and then we went across. Walk down the road to go and meet to have dinner at one of the restaurants, and we booked the entire restaurant only for the AJV party, and we were about between the AJV students and the staff members, and as well as some of my Maori friends. We were about 40 people inside that, and lots of kids there as well. And it was like, I keep saying AJV family, AJV family, or AJV Fano, to use the Maori word. Yeah, it was absolutely an AJV Fano get together yesterday. It was, I mean, fantastic for all of us to be there and sit there and have these discussions. And yeah, and I think one of the most amazing feedbacks that way. A lot of our students who were there were very happy with the way we are doing things for them, the fact that we are supportive of them throughout their entire journey. And they all were saying, like, nobody else does this, and which is why we guys chose you. And I think at least half of them said that they actually started their process with some other agency, but then when they realized the kind of advantages they have working with a company like AJV, so they all decided to start coming towards us. And then we are very thankful and grateful, of course. So, but one of the best feedbacks I got was from one of our clients called Sija. Sija is studying here at the University of Waikato in Hamilton, and she was really, she's one of those, students who is mature. She's not a young person in term. I mean, she is young, but I'm not saying she's an old person. I'm just saying she's probably in her 30s, and so she's a more mature student. And so she said one of the things I really like about you guys in AJV is the fact that week after week, you and Mary, which is my colleague, we come live and we put ourselves out there and talk to everybody from different parts of the world. And she said, I love the transparency with which you operate and conduct your work and your business. And she said, I haven't come across anybody else who is as transparent as you guys. And I like that. I like that feedback. It really was heartwarming because she's right. I think this particular industry can be quite murky. An agency can absolutely send you to the wrong country, to the wrong college, to the wrong course, and basically screw your entire future for the sake of a few $1,000. They could entirely be playing with the lives of young people. And she said, I like the fact that you guys are so transparent that you actually come live and you discuss the potential for each and every student and that kind of stuff. So I was very happy about it. I promise you we will continue to remain an extremely transparent organization. And yeah, so that's the way it is. And well, that's the beauty of being present in New Zealand and being able to support you guys. Now, I don't see any questions yet. Jyoti, you will have to probably come to pick up the questions from YouTube and start pasting them to the group, Jyoti, because I don't see any questions in the group at the moment. Maybe it was a mistake to change the format of the way I'm doing my live session this week, but I thought it's kind of pointless to go live from three different places at the same time. But I don't seem to have any questions. So if there are any questions, Jyoti, which are in YouTube, I would like you to share them, copy paste those questions to the group where I'm coming live, because at the moment I do not see any questions. So because of which I obviously can't. Oh, there are some comments. Hang on. Oh, okay. Sorry, guys. I mean, wow, I'm so silly. Sometimes, not always. Okay, here's the first question. I got it now. Okay, Suraj Mohan asked, hi, sir. I'm planning to come to New Zealand to do my master's. I want to know the scope of mechanical engineers there in New Zealand. Suraj, fantastic scope. We need mechanical engineers, we need civil engineers, we need electronic engineers, we need electrical engineers, we need computer engineers, we need IT engineers, we need all kinds of engineers in New Zealand at the moment. And if there is something called the long-term skill shortage list of New Zealand, which is published by the Immigration Department of New Zealand, and it is available online. It's a public document. If you look at it, it talks about the fact that we have a big shortage of engineers in New Zealand. So if you're going to come to New Zealand to participate in a master's level course, and then pass out of that, you will get a 3 years post study work visa. And in those 3 years, by virtue of the fact that you completed a course in at the master's level in New Zealand in one of our shortage area, your future will be very good. Of course, you will require a lot of support here in New Zealand. And so, Suraj, if you come to New Zealand through AJV, we will provide you with all the support that we can, give from our side, network you with more of our students who have already completed this similar courses in engineering, and ensure that your future in New Zealand would be taken care of. So overall, good choice of subject, good choice of course, good choice of, and we'll also put forward some, uh, colleges and universities in front of you. Take a look at it, see what suits you, and then we'll be delighted to work with you. All right, thanks for that question, Suraj. But definitely fantastic future for engineers in New Zealand. You'll have to excuse me, guys. Bad throat again. I've been naughty and smoking a little bit yesterday at the end of the party. So that's why the bad throat. Right. Ajay Kumar says, sir, I had applied for essential work visa. It's happened 4 months, still did not get uh, any answer. Why visa getting delayed for Indians in New Zealand? Okay. Hey, Ajay, I don't think we applied for your visa, so I would not have any background information about what exactly was your application all about, or what kind of a job you were applying for, and where, I mean, which region, which industry. There are a lot of factors that go into an essential skills work visa. So I'm not sure, we don't have the background because you're not one of our clients. But the fact is, I've been talking about this for over the last few weeks, saying that, excuse me. Now, that over the last few weeks, I've been talking about the fact that New Zealand is receiving so many more applications now as compared to previous years. And at the same time, they're also reorganizing some of their immigration offices, because of which there has been a delay for visas. So just hang in there. If you have applied, I think it's only a matter of time. So just be patient. And I think all clients need to have realistic expectations from Immigration New Zealand. And I mean, they're not here to serve you in terms of, to be at your beck and call. And, they have processes to follow. Their primary responsibility is to protect the borders of New Zealand by ensuring that only the right people are getting into New Zealand. And because of the fact that there has been a massive surge of applications in all streams, not just in essential skills, but in students' visas and spouse visas, and all kinds of visas, there has been a massive spurt, because of which they are taking their time, because they want to do things in a hurry and let the wrong kind of people into New Zealand. So I think that's what it is all about. Just so hang in there, and for whatever reason you get a decline, which I do not wish upon you, but for whatever reason, if there is a problem with your visa, come back and approach us. We are present here in New Zealand and in India. You can approach us at either of these places. You can either reach out to us in India or in New Zealand. Those are the numbers and the email addresses where all of you can reach out to us. You can reach out to our Indian team if you're present in India, because that team works to your time zone. Or if you're in New Zealand, speak to our New Zealand team, because we are obviously working to your time zone, and so we can give you instant information. All right. So in case there's a problem with your application further, Ajay, do get in touch with us and we will try and sort it out for you. All right. And just bear in mind, guys, that besides myself, we have a few other licensed immigration advisors in the company. There is Mary, our senior manager, who is also a licensed immigration advisor like myself. And today we are going to submit the application for the next license from our company. of one of my colleagues called Tulika Mehra, who has also completed her course in the graduate diploma in New Zealand immigration advice, which is, and she's completed the first part of the course, which will get her ready to be able to apply for a license. And so she is going to make that application today. And hopefully, in the next couple of weeks, we'll have a brand new licensed immigration advisor also joining us. And then two more of my colleagues are going to be starting their course in October. One more of our colleagues called Navya, she's already in the midst of a course, and she, messaged me today saying that she scored really well in one of her papers, and I was telling her she's an absolute superstar. So yeah, yeah, all good. So we're going to have a lot of licensed advisors being churned out from HAV in India and in New Zealand, so that we guys can take care of you, from end to end, whichever part of the world you're in. All right, and just talking about our licensed advisors. Most of them were also ex-immigration officers of New Zealand who came and joined Team AJV. We are, grateful to have them on our team, and that makes us so much more stronger because we have people who actually worked with the official Department of Immigration of New Zealand, and now they're coming and being part of AJV services. But as far as I can see, they're not doing any different job. They're still doing exactly the same job they did as an immigration officer, which is to protect New Zealand's interests and handpick and choose the right people who will do well in New Zealand and go on to become productive residents and citizens of this country. So this team of ex-immigration officers and myself and Mary and Nishanti and the rest of our wonderful team, all of us are here for only one thing: to match good quality people to a wonderful country like New Zealand. So we are really just the matchmakers between a beautiful country and high quality people who can come and make their base in New Zealand, and in the process also enrich New Zealand through their economic and cultural contributions. All right, cool. Next question is from Sandar M. Hi, sir. I'm planning to study diploma in film. Hey, Sandar. Lovely. It is always fantastic for me to come across questions from people who want to do something different from information technology, engineering, and business. It's always very uplifting for me to find people who want to do a course in film and television and 3D animation and VFX and all those sorts of things. I'm a secret filmmaker, by the way. I mean, one of my passions in life all along has been to be a filmmaker, and that is probably why we use so much of video in our promotions of HAV services and New Zealand. But fantastic choice, Sonder, to come to New Zealand to do a film course because this is the land of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and today the creative industry is booming in New Zealand. And I'm regularly in touch with all my students, and one of our ex-students called Rituraj, who is originally from Nepal. He came to New Zealand through us, and he completed a course in filmmaking in New Zealand. And recently, he got a job with Maori Television, and so very happy about it. One more of my film students called Nicholas Sola. He is studying at the University of Waikato here in Hamilton. Nicholas is a brilliant filmmaker, young filmmaker, and he used to work with NDTV back in India. So he is now in New Zealand in Hamilton, and I invited him to do part-time work with us while he was studying to put together testimonial films and other films, and he did such an excellent job. I was so impressed that I've now made a full-time job offer to him to come and work with HAV as soon as his course is complete. Uh, Sorry, guys, there's a little break in the session, so I'm gonna just restart that. Mhm. Sorry, there was a break in the session, guys, so I had to restart my video. Jyoti, if you are following it again, just go back and share it to the page as well as to my Facebook ID, and we will start again. And I will need the comments again, but in the meantime, I will continue to answer the question from Sounder, which was about doing a film course here in New Zealand. So yeah, great choice, Sounder. I was saying that we've also hired one of our students called Nicholas to come and do become a full-time filmmaker with us, and we intend to come out with some really creative content to promote New Zealand and as well as to promote AJV services and yeah. So yeah, it's been going pretty well for us at the moment. So yeah, Jyoti, the live ended, but I restarted again. So you will have to just paste all the old questions back here. All right. Yeah, back to the new live session that I'm going from the group again, Jyoti. So please start pasting all those questions, comments, and questions back here. And guys, if you can please type your questions again, I'll be grateful because that particular live session ended and I had to restart it. So I've lost all those questions. So please, all of you who are still following this, just ask your questions again. Coming back to Sounder. And this film course. So besides the long-term skill shortage list of New Zealand, which is there, there is also another small list called the identified future growth areas of New Zealand. And these three identified future growth areas of New Zealand are information technology, information and communication technology, biotechnology, and the creative industries. And the creative industries will include film and television, and radio and journalism and architecture, so on and so forth. So those are the kind of areas where film is also going to have a good. And bear in mind, New Zealand is now one of the creative capitals of the world. And if you guys are aware, James Cameron, who made of the Avatar movie and Titanic and so many other very famous movies, has also decided to shift his base to New Zealand, and he is now planning to do the sequels to Avatar out of New Zealand. So overall, there is a very strong buzz around the creative industry in New Zealand. And yeah, warm welcome, Sonder. Get in touch with our team. Our team will also give you a call. So yeah, that's where you guys can reach us. It's good to hide behind that board and quickly clear my throat. So yeah, but that's where you guys can get in touch with us. Okay, cool. Right. Next question is from Dipesh Pandey. Dipesh says, "Hi, Aaron. I spoke to your AJV office, Mumbai, to Ruben a few months back. Okay, I'm planning to apply for postgraduate diploma in hospitality from PIMS, which stands for Pacific Institute of Hotel Management Studies. Does hospitality course come under skilled shortage list? What are the PR possibilities after the course? I have done my graduation." Hey, Dipesh, very good questions, by the way, because the fact of the matter is not every course and not every job in New Zealand will be in the skill shortage list. And under hospitality, there is only one particular occupation which is in the skill shortage list, and that is the occupation of being a chef. So chefs are in the long-term skill shortage list of New Zealand, but and I have specifically made a video. Go to my YouTube channel, go to YouTube and type Arun Jacob, and you'll see this face there. And I actually put together a video which says, should I only study a course that is in the skill shortage list or not? And it explains why that it's not necessary that you always have to pick something that's only in the skill shortage list. Bear in mind, New Zealand is a very strong tourism oriented country. We get millions of people visiting our beautiful country year on year. And when there are these millions of people who are visiting New Zealand, and I think New Zealand is on the bucket list of practically the entire world. So, people want to come and see this beautiful country. And because we have such a robust and strong tourism industry, I think it is our largest industry at the moment. I think it has overtaken our dairy industry as the largest industry. So there's a lot of demand for hospitality professionals. So that is the reason studying a course in hospitality in New Zealand is a good choice. PIMS is a very good school. I have personally been to PIMS a couple of times. In fact, last time, two of my colleagues from India were visiting. We went to PIMS and walked in and had a chat with some of the students there, they were all highly appreciative of the way that PIMS is imparting that course to them. So overall, I think it's a good choice for you to make. Dipesh, if you're already in touch with Ruben, continue to speak to him. Ruben has been on leave. I'm not sure if he's back yet, but I am aware that he has gone away for a couple of weeks. So in case you're not able to reach Ruben, just flick across an email to info@ajvglobal.com and say, hey, look, I'm not able to reach Ruben. Can I speak to somebody else? And we will connect you to one more of our advisors in Mumbai, and you can take it up from there. All right. But overall, scope is good, Deepesh. And because you're coming as an AJV student, we will ensure that we also network you to our other friends and um, clients who have already completed their hospitality courses and now have moved into jobs and into residency and so on and so forth. All right. So all good, Deepesh. Good choices with your college, with your country, with AJV. It will all work out for you. Not to worry. Okay, cool. Sounder, I have already answered rather elaborately. I had to go a little longer because my feed broke, so I had to do it one more time. Digvijay here asks, sir, about IT scope in New Zealand. New Zealand, good for it. Okay. I mean, New Zealand is good for many things, Digvijay. But yeah, sure. IT is definitely, I was just sharing with you that IT is not only in our long term skill shortage list, but it is also one of our identified future growth areas. So the government is very keen to ensure that IT as a subject, IT as an industry grows significantly in New Zealand, and which is the reason it is in our long-term skill shortage area. So definitely, you will not go wrong if you pick up an IT course in New Zealand. Which, of course, I don't want to make it sound too easy or make it sound like it is all going to be a bed of roses. Please bear in mind, guys and girls, that a bed of roses also has a few thorns. So so do not come with the impression that everything is going to be a bed of roses. It can be comfortable. It can be quite an easy journey if you have the right coaches, and that is exactly where we as an organization are pitching ourselves and saying, hey, look, you guys will require a coach when you go into a foreign country and start playing your game, and that is what we guys are all about. As is your local, we are local coaches, we are your local guides, and we are your local mentors to make sure that you continue on that journey well, because a lot of other companies is simply do things to the extent of getting you an admission and a visa and putting you on a plane and saying goodbye, but we actually pick it up after you get off that plane and land here in New Zealand, and we continue that journey throughout with you, because you'll have hundreds of questions during your study period, during your post-study work period, during your employment period. You'll have hundreds of questions, and that is where you will always have access to licensed immigration advisors and all of us in AJB who will continue to guide you and counsel you and ensure you reach your eventual goal of being a resident and a citizen of New Zealand. All right, cool. So Digvijay, please get in touch with our team. That's all the numbers, and you will also get a call from our team. When you get a call from our team, guys and girls, please pick up the phone and answer, because at the end of the day, you're here present in the session because there is a seed of desire somewhere in your heart and mind that you want to go to New Zealand and start a new life. So give that seed that little time and listen to what we have to say. You like it, you do it. You don't like it, that's fine, because going abroad is not for everybody. It is not an easy process, requires a lot of money, time, and effort. We understand that. So which is why we will do our job sincerely of providing you with the right information and knowledge. And then you take a call. And if you come forward, come back to us again and say, hey, look, I'm ready to take my step towards New Zealand. We will ensure with that we do it in an open, transparent, friendly, frank, and honest manner. All right? Cool. That's the deal, guys. You work with us, we work back with you. Okay. Ankit Malvi, I'm going to quickly check Sky. To make sure that my team has not given me any inputs, or sometimes they also reprimand me if I'm going off track too much. So I have to make sure that I'm a good boy and stay on track. Okay. Ankit Malvia, I have confirmation that you're already working with Team HAV. Thank you so much, Ankit. We appreciate all you young people making a good choice of working with a good company like AGV, because I promise you it is going to be very beneficial for your future in New Zealand. So, good choice, my friend. So, your question is, hi, Arun, sir. I have completed my bachelor's and I'm looking to pursue postgraduate diploma in management. What are the job perspective after postgraduate diploma in management? Ankit, I'll be honest with you. I don't know what my team has recommended to you, because I normally do not recommend a management course to people who don't have some level of experience. I have not mentioned when you completed your bachelor's. If you are a fresh graduate, I would say revisit your course choice. Because I'll tell you the problem with taking up a management course if you're a fresh graduate is that when you finish a management course here in New Zealand, they will, and when you get into your post study, you will get a 3 years post study work visa, of course. But when you get into that post study work visa, because you've completed a course which has got the word management in it, Immigration Department of New Zealand would expect you to pick up a job which would also have the word manager in it. And if you're a fresh graduate and also new to New Zealand, sometimes it's not easy for such young people with little or no experience in your own country and in New Zealand to try and get to a manager position within 3 years is a slightly challenging job, and which is where I kind of advise young, fresh graduates not to get into management courses, but to look for, in fact, I recommend that you look for a course which provides you with a much broader base of entering at some entry level kind of a position rather than looking for a manager position. Because bear in mind, managers are sitting at the top of a triangle, and if that is your triangle, the bottom line is where the front line people are, and then there are not too many managers. As you keep going up towards the top of that triangle, there are not too many people, but at the base level is where you can have more chances of getting picked by an organization. So I don't know who you're talking to in my team, and whoever is the yeah. So I would suggest have a chat with my team. But if you're a fresher, I would not recommend a management course. And my team tells me that you have a background. Your bachelor's is actually in engineering. If that is the fact, Ankit, it's a better idea for you to choose to do something. Do a postgraduate diploma in engineering instead, because when you do a postgraduate diploma in engineering, you could, and engineering being a technical subject, people will, there are so much better chances for you to get picked by a company for you to work in. And then you can make, even if you make an entry level position after completing a postgraduate diploma in mechanical engineering or whatever engineering your background is, that is still fine as far as immigration department is concerned. So, but I'll be very wary if you are getting into management as a fresher, and I would request all my team members as well listening to this particular broadcast right now to do not recommend management courses to fresh graduates, because they're simply not equipped with enough experience to be able to get management positions in New Zealand after they complete their course. And if they don't get a management position in New Zealand, then the chances of getting further visas, especially getting their residency, will come down quite dramatically. So this is a request to all of you watching this broadcast, including my own team members. Do not recommend management courses to fresh graduates. Instead, if they have a background, a technical background, let them continue in that technical line itself, and that is where they'll have the best possible chances of getting into a job after they complete their course. All right, Ankit. So have a discussion again one more time with my team, whoever is talking to you, and yeah, it'll be very cool to help you to come here and get into the. So team leaders, whoever is my team leaders, whoever is responsible for Ankit's course selection, please keep an eye out for this particular young person and ensure that the course we are recommending to him is the right one. Okay, cool. Right. Next one is Jaya Hari, and Jaya Hari says, "Hi sir, I have applied for MBA program in AIS and Waikato University beginning of this month. when I can expect the offer letter from them. Yes, I have received a mail from Mr. Aniket. I will reply today. It's regarding the referee form from AIS. Hey, Jaya, thanks for confirming that you're working with Team AJV. Thank you so much. As I keep saying, um, all you young people have a choice to make choice in front of you. You know, you can either work with a company like AJV, or you can work with many other companies which will also help you with an admission and visa to come into New Zealand. But you know, you guys pick to work with AJV, and for that I'm always grateful, and I promise you that's also going to be of massive benefit to you, because we are present in New Zealand, and we are, you know, legally able to provide you with ongoing immigration advice. So good choice, Jaya. I look forward to seeing you here in New Zealand very soon. But in the meantime, you're same thing. If you are a fresh graduate, I will not advise an MBA for you. Um, but if you have certain number of years of experience, then fine, MBA should be all right. And as regards your other queries, sorry, it seems to have gone up already, a question. But you know, as regards your other query, yeah, I mean, University of Waikato is a fantastic institution to study, and AIS is also a very good school. I would recommend either one of them to you quite strongly. And please send back that referee form as quickly as you can to Aniket, so that we can get it. And normally the offer takes between three to, you know, about between 2 to 4 weeks. You should be able to get an offer letter. And from AIS, I think it will be a lot faster, but you will need to provide all your documents. And provided you give those documents, we should be able to get an offer letter to you at the earliest. All right. Thanks, Jaya. And I hope to see you here in New Zealand very soon. Okay. I have a the next one is from Shamal Parek, who says, I'm sure you have considered my request to promote Catherine. Now promote, now please promote Grace Daniel too. These guys are just fabulous. I would close my office if I had to answer so many questions. Hey, Shaman, thank you for being so honest. And I call myself the friendly and frank guy, but you seem to be, well, you know, if there is a word called franker, you seem to be franker than me. But that's great feedback, Shaman. I mean, it's not often that I burst out in laughter in the middle of my live sessions. But yeah, thanks for that feedback. Absolutely. I mean, one of our occupational hazards, I think, for us as advisors is, man, the number of questions you guys ask is not funny. But we understand that, you know, you're on the verge of taking such a big and important decision that you want practically, you know, every little bit of your queries covered. And so we understand it. But you know what, Shamal, yeah, you are absolutely right. You know, it is sometimes quite challenging. It is quite taxing for us to kind of keep on answering questions. But hey, look, you know, we are here to do that. And thank you for that wonderful feedback about Catherine and Grace Daniel. We are putting our best foot forward also in selecting our staff members, so that, you know, they will be patient with you and keep answering you all the time. But good feedback, Shamal. And I will recommend it to Catherine's and Grace's boss to have a look at this. I'm not their direct boss. They have somebody else they report to in the organization. But good feedback. Thanks for that, Shama. Okay. Right. Next question is Ankit Vagela. Says, Kia ora, Aaron. Kia ora, Ankit. Kete kwe, which is, how are you? And the answer will be Kete pai how, which is, I'm doing well. And can we use you as reference on our resume for the internship and part-time roles? Ooh, thinking of directly applying for summer of tech's open positions. By the way, it was freezing yesterday here in Wellington. Hey, Ankit, absolutely, you are uh, entitled to using my name and Mary's name and Virginia's name and our contact numbers and our email addresses on your cover letters and your CVs, and say, this is my reference here in New Zealand. So you can put Arun Jacob, Director, AJV Services, or Mary Joseph, Senior Manager, AJV Services Limited, or Virginia as a customer service manager, AJV Services, and give our phone numbers and our email addresses. That is one of the biggest advantages that we are providing to our students, because once you land in New Zealand, you'll require references for two very important reasons. Reference for initially, you will require references to find accommodation if you're planning to rent an apartment somewhere, or a house or whatever. Then those real estate agents would want a reference, and that is what we are for all our students. So I must have helped dozens of our students to find homes here in New Zealand. So that's one reference that you can definitely use us for. Second reference, please use us for your employment. And those are some of the advantages of being an AJV student. Is you'll land here from day one, you will have a ready reference for jobs and for accommodation, and and then the free immigration advice, any other advice. We also, somebody gets homesick, we also go and ensure that the guy or girl is back to their normal peppy self. And that's the reason we keep doing all these meetings and dinners, so that there's networking, you become friends with each other, and that's what we keep doing. So absolutely, Ankit, that's one of the privileges you have as an AGV student. In fact, you would have received an email as soon as you got your approval in principle, which said, welcome to New Zealand and the advantages to AGV clients. In that, it is actually clearly mentioned saying that you can use us as your references. So please go ahead but let us know when you use us as a reference for any particular position, so that we can expect that phone call or that email. And as and when it comes to us, we will respond immediately. All right, all the best. And it's freezing here in Hamilton as well, but spring is around the corner. Every time I go to pick up my kids from school, I can see that the those beautiful trees down the roads are beginning to flower, and there's some beautiful red flowers out there. So don't worry, guys and girls. Spring is around the corner, and it's only a matter of time before we're gonna have some really nice, bright, sunny days here in New Zealand again. All right, cool. Next question is from Sasiv Raut. I want to know the duration of post-study work visa after 2021. Mhm. Sorry, Sasiv, one moment. Now, also, can I extend on the same qualification I hold to? So, Sasiv, the policy is a little obscure at the moment about people who are going to study, uh, especially I think in Auckland and after 2021. So what I might do is I might do a bit more research, and if I still can't find the details inside the policy, what I will do is I will write to immigration department about this particular query and get some response back from them, because when there is not enough clarity, it is always better to seek a direct response from the immigration department of New Zealand, so that it is there in writing, and tomorrow, even if we have to challenge them, we should be able to put forward and say, hey, look, it was your own department that gave us the confirmation based on which we are making this visa application. So that's the way I work as a licensed immigration advisor. By and large, most of the details are present in the policy and the instructions manual, but sometimes when it is not clear, and remember, it is a dynamic document, and they also cannot, they are, I mean, they can also make human errors, and sometimes a policy can be left slightly obscure. So which is what seems to be with this particular thing. In fact, last week, Mary being my senior colleague, who is also a licensed immigration advisor, we both were discussing exactly the same point, and we decided we're going to write to immigration and get a clarification on that. We will get it soon, Sasiv. I do believe you are one of our students, and we will come back to you with the clarification very soon. But don't worry, you are in safe hands if you're coming to New Zealand as an AJV student or client, and we will take care of all your immigration side of queries and your needs and your services. All right, cool. Okay, then my okay, so Tanmay Hassan Ayon says, "Hello, Mr. Arun. Your those live sessions are very useful to those who are thinking about the issue. I'm interested to apply with. How can I get in touch with you?" Hey, Tanmay, thanks for that feedback. I do appreciate it, and that's the whole point of doing those live sessions, is that you guys and girls need to have good, clean, honest, transparent information. You are embarking on something that is really expensive. That is expensive not only in money terms but in time and effort as well, and you need to be taking the right decisions. And which is why I don't mind sitting here in those live sessions week after week, and my colleague Mary, she comes live some other day in the week, and then once Tulika gets her license, she's going to. So in just a few months time, there will be a licensed immigration advisor from HAV who will be coming live every day of the week, and we might even do it over the weekends or whatever. If none of my other colleagues want to do a weekend, I might swap it with them, and then I might do a Sunday. We will see how it goes. But yeah, we're very happy that you guys and girls are beginning to notice that the work that we're doing, which is to sit here and, this is a live situation. I can't BS you. All know what BS is. So I have to just be honest and truthful with my answers and my responses. And the fact is, by virtue of the fact that I've been in the industry for the last 15, 16 years, I do know what works in this industry and what does not work in this industry. And what is our final interest? Our final interest is to be those proper matchmakers between a beautiful country like New Zealand and all you talented people out there, which is the reason we do not work with anybody who we perceive of, I will not, it's not right to use the term low quality, but who we believe are not ready to succeed in New Zealand. And how do you know whether you are ready to succeed in New Zealand? Is that you have good English, you have good academic background, maybe you'll have some work experience, you're presentable, you're confident, and and you're also choosing the right subject area. So those are the kind of things that we're looking for, and you're also choosing the right level. Of course, today. I mean, not today, but I mean, the government of New Zealand today is in a position where they can absolutely filter out the people who are coming into New Zealand, because the demand for New Zealand has gone up dramatically. And that's the reason the government can quite simply say, we don't want levels, these particular levels to come in any longer. We only want eight, nine, tens or sevens or whatever. So that's the way it has become. And we act like, an extension of the work that Immigration New Zealand does. And we are constantly filtering our own clients. So I'm glad that you guys are noticing the kind of work we're doing. Please continue to talk to us, and we'll be so brutally honest. If we think that you are not ready to come to New Zealand, we will tell you and implore with you not to waste your money, time, and effort, because you'll simply not succeed in New Zealand. But hey, look, Tanmay, the way to get in touch with us is like that. Those are our contact details. You can either get in touch with our office in India or our office in New Zealand. And yeah, just pick up the phone and give us a call on any one of those toll-free numbers, or text us if you're in India, or just send us an email and we will take it up from there. All right, cool. Ah, nice. That feels good. Radio, checking to see if my team has given me any instructions, and also catching my breath. So we have somebody called Pearl Black. Nice name, Pearl Black, who says, "Hi Arun, I'm 37 years old. Am I eligible for student's visa in level 7 early childhood education teaching? I spoke to one of our agent, Nisha Karmakar. Due to personal issues, I couldn't continue." Hey, Pearl, there is absolutely no problem with your age. I mean, 37 is a really young age. You're talking to a 51-year-old guy, so 37 to me is like really young. But jokes apart, 37 is actually a good age to consider doing this thing, because if you keep getting older and you hit your 40s, your motivation will come down, and you may not be as keen to make this foray to into a foreign country. But so absolutely no problem with your age. I think you should go ahead and restart your process with Nisha. I'm sure you still have her um, phone number. If you don't have a phone number, just call us on our toll-free number in India and say, "Hey, look, connect me to Nisha," and she will do. Nisha is one of our fantastic advisors. Last month, in fact, she was nominated for our Above and Beyond Award, which we conduct every month internally for our students, sorry, for our staff members. And Nisha was our Above and Beyond Award winner last month. So yeah, she's one of our star performers. So please pick up the phone, talk to her again. We'll be delighted to work with you and help you to come. There is a requirement for early childhood teachers here in New Zealand. So if you do come and do that course and you have the other attributes, I think you will do well here. So yeah, pick up the phone again, talk to Nisha, and we will do it. But definitely not a problem at 37. All right. Thanks, Pearl. Okay, next question. Guys, some of the questions are jumping up because I think I'm taking a little longer to answer. And but anyway, sir, I already spoke to Navya last month, but we did not discuss much about Nelson. I would like to hear something about NMIT and Nelson from you because your words inspire me a lot to take decisions. And this is from Sujit, I think. Sajit, I think. Yeah. Okay, Sajit, any town in New Zealand, I'm absolutely fine. And NMIT is actually slowly but surely emerging as a dark horse amongst all the uh, institutes of technologies and polytechnics here in New Zealand. So the Nelson Marlborough Institute of Technology, which soon, by the way, I think will stop existing as NMIT because there is a plan by the government to combine all the 16 ITPs and make them into one big institution called I think they're going to call it the New Zealand Institute of Skills and Technology. So yeah, absolutely a good choice. NMIT, I think, is coming out with some brand new courses and cutting edge courses, and some of them are so good that people are finding it very difficult to get into them because the competition is very high. Nelson is a beautiful town. I've been there about 3 or 4 times, and my colleague Virginia used to live there in Nelson before. She was quite keen to continue in Nelson, but I convinced her to move to Hamilton because this is where our office is, and we needed more hands on deck and more people to work with us in the office. So I practically blackmailed Virginia to move from Nelson to Hamilton. But otherwise, Nelson is a beautiful city. The sobriquet or nickname for Nelson is Sunny Nelson, beautiful part of New Zealand. And MIT has got a great reputation, fantastic courses. I have a fabulous rapport with the international director at NMIT, and overall, strongly recommend NMIT, strongly recommend Nelson. And also, once you finish your course in Nelson, it doesn't mean that you have to stick in Nelson if you find that there are better opportunities in Auckland or Wellington or Hamilton or Christchurch or wherever. So, yeah, Nelson can be a good place to start. It is a beautiful town, as I told you. The cost of living would be a little lower as compared to some of the other larger cities, and it's a beautiful environment to study. And once you complete, if you think that your opportunities are more in other cities, yeah, you could absolutely obviously move from there. But yeah, strongly recommend NMIT and Nelson, Sajid, and look forward to seeing you here in New Zealand soon. And we already have a good thriving community of AJV students and clients in Nelson. We will also, of course, connect you with all of them once you land, so that you will have some friends from day one after you land. All right. Thanks, Sajid. Then thank you for saying that my words inspired you. I mean, those words inspire me. Okay. Hello, sir. I'm in contact with, this is from Hiren. Hiren says, hello, sir. I'm in contact with Sonia. She's very supportive. Good to hear that. Looks like all my team members need to get a promotion. um, I need your help in choosing institutes. I got OOP offer of place from Unitech and SIT waiting for ARA. SIT offer graduate diploma in engineering and technology, and Unitech GD in construction management 1 year. Uh, Work permit, yeah, that's correct if you're going to study in Auckland. Um, I could not make up my mind in choosing institutes because my priority is ARA. If not possible to get ARA, have to choose from above two. Need help for decision making and context of my future. Thanks in advance. Good question, actually, here, and I quite like the fact that you are looking at all the options. And I also think if you are able to get, because ARA, as you explicitly say, is your first choice. If you are able to get the offer from ARA, I think you need to go there. ARA is again, another fantastic institution. As I was answering to the previous query from Sajid, very soon ARA, SIT, Unitech, Wintech, Welltech, all of them are all going to be simply be called the New Zealand Institute of Skills and Technology. So there's no longer going to be one separate names for each of those institutes. They're all going to be called the New Zealand Institute of Skills and Technology, which I think is good consolidation. I personally believe that's the way forward for this particular sector. if you do study at ARA and you go to a GD there, a graduate diploma in ARA, you will get a 2 years work visa, or you will, if you go and do a GD in engineering and technology from SIT, also you will get a 2 years work visa. So um, purely from the fact that you will get 1 whole year of work visa extra if you go to a course outside Auckland, I would recommend that you make ARA your choice one, SIT your choice two, and Unitech your choice three. Because the longer you have after you complete your course in your work visa, the more chances you will have to, or the more time you have to be able to find that relevant job, which will then help you to either apply for a resident visa or for an essential skills work visa. So I would definitely say, if for instance, if I'm paying $10 to get something, and instead if I can get two of them, why not? So that's what I would say. If you're getting 2 years of post-study work visa instead of 1 year post-study work visa for the same amount of money you're spending, obviously the choice is quite clear, and your choice quite clearly is RI is your first choice. So if you get it, go for RI. If you don't get it, go to SIT, because you'll get 2 years post-study work visa. And if you can't get into SIT as well for some reason, then of course you always have the Unitech backup. But very good question here, and I like the way you're thinking, and that was my very honest and sincere advice. You are getting an extra 1 year if you go outside Auckland, so definitely I think you should choose that option. All right, cool. And I promise I will come and visit you in Invercargill, even if you go into SIT. Okay, okay. What are we looking up? My team is saying. My team is saying I need to ring the bell. Okay, I'll ring the bell. There you go. You guys who follow my work, that means the time is up, and I'll have to, yeah, wind this up now. Sorry about the break in the middle of the session. I didn't expect that to happen. But anyway, I'm going to answer one last question. Hey, guys, my team, that is, I'm about to close, wind up. Any questions from our AJV students that I need to answer? Anything pressing, let me know. I see one here which says Tarun Sharma, and it says, "Hi Arun, my case is being handled by Nisha. While she's doing a great job, I would like to get in touch with you directly. Kindly let me know if this can be done." Hey Tarun, like I said, we have a fantastic team of people, and this is the direct way of getting in touch with me. You can send me an email, or you can inbox me in my Facebook and write your query directly, Tarun. I'd be happy to answer you. Yes, as much as I would like to answer each and every one of you directly, the fact of the matter is we're dealing with thousands of inquiries, and it will become humanly impossible for me to talk to each and every one of you, which is why I have this wonderful team. Nisha, as I just told you, is one of our star performers from last month, and Nisha reports to a team leader who is an ex-immigration officer and also on the verge of getting a license to become a licensed advisor. Above her is another manager called the country manager, who is called Thanuva Majumdar. And Thanuva is also an ex-immigration manager, and she worked with the Immigration Department of New Zealand for 22 long years. So we have all these layers of very qualified and experienced people in the organization who can answer all your queries satisfactorily. And yet, if you think you still need to reach out to me, just inbox me on Facebook, and I'll be more than happy to answer your question. All right, guys. Okay, okay. Thank you so much as always. And for all of you watching this from New Zealand, warm welcome to come and drop into our office at for shop number 2426 Victoria Street, Hamilton Central. We would love to see you there. Open doors to all our AJV students and clients. You guys can walk in anytime you want and use our free Wi-Fi, your free coffee, free library, free printing, free scanning, free immigration advice, all those things, free references for your jobs and your accommodation. These are all the advantages you will get from if you choose to work with AJV. And we request all of you, guys and girls, to do consider strongly to work with AJV, because we are committed to you. We are committed to New Zealand. We are committed to our employees and we are committed to our shareholders, but always in that order. We want New Zealand to become stronger. We want our students and our clients to succeed. We want our employees to be happy and growing. And we want the shareholders of the company to also be happy and earn some money out of this whole thing. All right. Cool. Thanks, guys, as always. And I will be back again next week, but later this week, my colleague Mary will be going live. Thank you, everybody who follows our work. Big, warm thank you from Hamilton. Although it's a bit nippy out there, but look forward to working with all of you and welcoming you into beautiful New Zealand. Haere mai ki Aotearoa, which means welcome to New Zealand. Bye bye. Good night.